हाय गाइस, वेलकम टू लीगल एज आफ्टर कॉलेज। मैं हूं अर्पिता एंड टॉपर्स टॉक की सीरीज को कंटिन्यू करते हुए वी हैव AIR 11 विद अस, तनिष्का। तनिष्का ने अपना ग्रेजुएशन किया था एनएलयू दिल्ली से। इसके बाद सिविल सर्विसेज की तैयारी कर रही है अभी, एंड पीएसयू के लिए पर्टिकुलरली क्लैट पीजी दिया था, राइट? सो 11th रैंक आ चुकी है, पीएसयू तो हो जाएगा। अब आगे समझते हैं। वेलकम तनिष्का, कैसे हो बेटा?
I'm good, ma'am. Thank you so much for having me here.
You're most welcome. So tell me everything. ठीक है, let's start from the very start. So why did you decide to pursue LLM? Was it solely for PSU, or was it for, if you get a chance to study in NLS, or a good university, you can think of pursuing LLM as well?
Ma'am, my main motivation behind giving this examination was to secure a solid PSU opportunity. And in my during my civil services preparation, I have realized that having a solid plan A plus, people call it a plan B or a backup, but I like to call it plan A plus.
A
I think it
plus.
is very important because we know the kinds of challenges that aspirants face while writing competitive examinations and the uncertainties associated. So I thought that giving this examination will give me an opportunity to, find a job or a workplace that aligns with my interests and value systems. So, and a public sector undertaking, I mean, the examples like Power Grid, NTPC, all of these are just wonderful places to work at. So that was my motivation.
एब्सोल्युटली, एब्सोल्युटली। एंड मुझे ये बहुत अच्छा लगा, प्लान ए प्लस। दिस इज वेरी नाइस। आई एम गोइंग टू यूज दिस, है ना? ये बहुत अच्छा है, एंड आई टोटली अंडरस्टैंड द इनसिक्योरिटीज व्हाइल यू आर प्रिपेयरिंग फॉर समथिंग, विच इज व्हाई मैं तो प्लान बी ही बोल रही थी अब तक, लेकिन आई स्टार्ट कॉलिंग इट प्लान ए प्लस नाउ, विच इज व्हाई देयर हैज टू बी अ प्लान ए प्लस, एंड मतलब इन ऑल circumstances, so that while you are studying, while you are preparing anything, you are secured that you have something in hand. You're not dependent on anyone. आप फाइनेंशियली भी डिपेंड करते हो बहुत, एंड बहुत ज्यादा इमोशनली भी आप डिपेंड करते हो व्हेन यू आर नॉट अर्निंग, राइट? सो दिस गिव्स यू अ लॉट ऑफ फ्रीडम टू, एंड पता है कई बार ऐसा भी होता है तनिष्का, that once you start doing something ना, you find you start loving that also. So मतलब वो ऑप्शन भी आपके पास होना ही चाहिए टू चेंज सेक्टर इफ
Definitely.
यू वांट, राइट?
Yes, definitely, ma'am. I totally agree.
सो मुझे बताओ, फॉर यू हाउ वाज द पेपर? वाज इट डिफिकल्ट? डिफिकल्ट तो नहीं होगा, यू स्कोर्ड AIR 11, बट हाउ वाज इट फॉर यू?
Ma'am, I think the paper was slightly unexpected for me because I had initiated my serious preparation only 1.5 to 2 months before the examination. And in those 2 months, as in my focus was less on the knowledge part and more on the strategizing part of the paper. So that is why when I saw the 2025 paper, I was slightly taken aback because my strategy was more driven by the knowledge given in the passage itself.
हाँ,
So I used to bank on that a lot. And this time we saw that there were very few questions that were directly answerable from the passage. So I would say that I found this paper to be different from the previous years, and it was difficult in my understanding.
हाँ, मतलब दिस आई अग्री विद कि जब जब पेपर एकदम से देख के अनएक्सपेक्टेड सा लगता है ना, तो वो जो इनिशियल शॉक होता है, दैट टेक्स यू अबैक। एंड मुझे लगता है कि कुछ क्वेश्चन तो उसकी वजह से भी खराब हो जाते हैं, मतलब
बिल्कुल मैम।
जब थोड़ा सा समय लगता है, जब थोड़ा सोच लो कि अच्छा ठीक है, हो गया शौक खत्म, अब लेट्स स्टार्ट आंसरिंग। तब तक थोड़ा सा टाइम तो निकल ही चुका होता है और उसमें कुछ ना कुछ क्वेश्चन तो गड़बड़ हो ही जाते हैं। तुम्हारे साथ भी ऐसा हुआ क्या
हाँ
कि कुछ क्वेश्चन ऐसे जो
हाँ
आते
मैम,
थे?
बिल्कुल
ऐसा हुआ?
बिल्कुल हुआ। मैं आपको एग्जाम्पल दे सकती हूँ। मेरा सेट डी था। आई द फर्स्ट पैसेज आई गॉट वाज jurisprudence, and I solved a few questions and then I began skimming through the paper to see where is the easy part. What can I do first? And I came across epistolary jurisdiction. And I thought, ये तो बस सपना ही है. This is my forte. कौन-सी करूँ? And I was so fazed by that entire paper, इतना length, कि I marked the wrong option because of that sort of phase. So that does happen, and it happens in the, I mean, the most crucial of moments. But the more important thing is to not get affected by it, because I instantly realized, but I told myself that I need to calm down right now. We have to
हाँ।
do something to cover up for this now.
एब्सोल्युटली, मतलब ये वाला पार्ट तो मुझे लगता है कि मैंने जितने अभी तक टॉपर स्टॉक के वीडियोस लिए हैं ना, जितने इंटरव्यू कर लिए मैंने टॉपर्स के, एवरी सिंगल पर्सन हैज सेड दिस, एवरी सिंगल पर्सन हैज सेड दिस कि ये तो हुआ ही हुआ। इसके बाद जब ऑब्जेक्शंस हुए, सो मेनी क्वेश्चंस वर इनकरेक्ट, तो हाउ व्हाट वाज गोइंग इन योर हेड, लाइक यू नो कि इतने सारे क्वेश्चन तो गलत हो गए। रैंक के लिए कभी इनसिक्योरिटी थी क्या?
Ma'am, many actually, itna, I didn't think about this that much. I saw a particular video on you. I had decided to not check my score from the provisional answer key, but I came across a particular video wherein they were discussing that there are several questions incorrect in the
हाँ।
answer key. And so I commented on one of LegalEdge's video saying कि I would be grateful if you could take this up because
ओ ओ
12,
ओ, दैट
that
वाज
was
यू।
me.
So you initiated
I'm
that.
so, yeah, so I'm so grateful that you took it up actually. And then I thought कि अब इतने questions गलत ही हैं provisional answer key में, so there's no point in me checking. I'll get even more scared. So I put in that request, and all of you were very kind enough to heed to it. And so then I directly checked my scorecard after that. I never checked my answers from the key.
ये अच्छा किया, क्योंकि स्कोर कार्ड, सो जब आप रिजल्ट्स की प्रिपरेशन कर रहे होते हो ना एज एन इंस्टीट्यूट, तो यू वांट टू नो कि कितना स्कोर आ रहा है। बट इतना एक दो मार्क का मार्जिन होता है तो वो तो समझ में आता है, बट 10 to 15 क्वेश्चन के मार्जिन में कोई स्टूडेंट क्या बताएगा कि कितना स्कोर आ रहा है?
हाँ,
तो वो बहुत
बिल्कुल।
अनसर्टेनिटी थी। प्लस द मैक्सिमम जो मुझे मिल रहा था वो वही मिल रहा था, 75 77। और मुझे लग रहा था कि लास्ट ईयर तो 104 गया था हाईएस्ट, तो 77 78
4
कैसे
was
हो
the
सकता है?
highest.
हाउ मच डिड यू स्कोर बाय द वे?
75.5.
75.5, क्योंकि ये वाला कमेंट तो डेफिनेटली आने वाला है वीडियो पे कि हाउ मच डिड शी
How
स्कोर।
much did she score?
तो ये तो मैं पहले ही पूछ लेती हूँ ताकि सबको क्लैरिटी हो जाए।
हाँ,
ठीक।
मैम एक टाइम स्टैम्प भी डाल देना आप।
हाँ। स्कोर एट दिस टाइम। सो व्हाइल यू वर प्रिपेयरिंग, तो किस चीज पे ज्यादा फोकस किया था? मतलब नॉलेज पार्ट पे यू सेड कि थोड़ा कम था, बट जब तुम प्रीवियस ईयर पेपर देख रहे थे एंड प्रीवियस ईयर पेपर को जब एनालाइज किया, तो व्हाट डिड यू थिंक कि क्वेश्चन ज्यादा कहाँ से आता है? व्हाट शुड यू फोकस मोर ऑन? केस लॉज, लैंडमार्क केसेस, क्योंकि लैंडमार्क केसेस कम तो है नहीं, वो भी बहुत है तो।
Ma'am, I will give a slightly lengthy answer to this.
एब्सोल्युटली।
So, uh, I started my preparation with the previous year papers, and I solved the papers from 24 to 19, 20, at least 5 times each. I've solved all the papers. And the idea was to see the kinds of themes that are being touched upon
हाँ।
and the kinds of options that are being set. So it is often understood by aspirants and students. Even I was under this misconception that uh, options are not repeated or topics are not repeated. But that does happen. So
दैट डज
last
हैपन।
year, conditional mortgage इस साल फिर आया वो क्वेश्चन वाज द सेम, ऑप्शंस वर द सेम. And that happened for two questions, that mortgage question, and it happened for environmental rule of law.
Hmm.
And that was also the exact same question that was asked last year. So there were repetitions of themes. If you look carefully in torts, themes like negligence. Negligence is a recurrent theme, so it has been asked several times. Whenever torts questions are asked, it is either negligence or strict liability, absolute liability. So my idea was to narrow down on what I have to study knowledge wise, and the PYP analysis was the go-to strategy that I followed. So Aquinas, for example, this time natural law say Saint Aquinas was asked. So Saint Aquinas was an option in 2020. Then Lon Fuller and Hart debate.
हाँ
Hart की theory पे there was a passage in 1 year. Next year there was a passage on Fuller's theory, and इस साल Hart Fuller debate आ गई.
हाँ हाँ हाँ.
So this is how I was sort of narrowing down on the topics that I have to touch.
Hmm.
And then there are cases wherein you can eliminate options. So there are a few cases I can cite, such as CERC versus Energy Watchdog, or there was a case of Nisha Priya Bhatia. So these were repeated as options several times. So even if I did not know what the exact answer was, the first thing I could do was eliminate this. If I knew that at least
हाँ.
iska ratio mujhe pata hai, this is not fitting here. So I can do that sort of smart work. So that was my first step, to segregate my previous year papers and to identify the themes that were being asked and if there are any repetitions in the questions. And then, ma'am, my second source was the newspaper. I'm a diligent reader of the Hindu and Indian Express, and I've
Being a civil
realized
servant
that
aspirant.
so I've realized, ma'am, that a lot of questions can be answered from the newspaper because law इतना important है contemporary times में that editorials बहुत सारे judgments पे ही आते रहते हैं. So जैसे इस बार Great Indian Bustard पे question था,
हाँ
adverse effects of climate change that has been covered extensively in newspapers. Then Bilkis Bano's case, it was
हाँ.
covered extensively in newspapers. Then question on climate change, there was a question on sustainable development goal. तो ये general awareness हो गई कि which is the sustainable development goal on climate change, Paris Agreement. So that general awareness on law plus previous year paper analysis, I balanced the two things. And in terms of sources, my sources were my notes for law optional that I prepared for civil services. And they were also from our basic books that we study in university. So contracts ke liye my notes are from Avtar Singh, or for international law my notes are from S.K. Kapoor. For jurisprudence my notes are from our Dukki, beloved Dukki book. So that
Favorite.
was the kind of knowledge plus strategy combination that I was following.
That is such a brilliant way to understand the theme of the entire CLAT PG exam. Like this is actually brilliant. I'm so impressed that you were able to figure out in this manner. And I'm impressed. I'm very impressed. And मुझे लगता है कि this interview is going to be really helpful for students, especially who are preparing by themselves. जो सेल्फ स्टडी कर रहे हैं, खुद से तैयारी करने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं, आई थिंक दिस इज गोइंग टू बी अ वेरी वेरी हेल्पफुल थिंग फॉर देम टू अंडरस्टैंड एंड टू नो. एंड पता है वी से कि क्लैट पीजी के लिए यू डोंट नीड न्यूज़पेपर सो मच, बट मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि न्यूज़पेपर तो आपको पढ़ना ही चाहिए. लाइक दैट इज नॉट ऑप्शनल. मतलब इवन इफ यू आर नॉट प्रिपेयरिंग फॉर एनी एग्जाम, न्यूज़पेपर रीडिंग इज अ मस्ट. वो तो करना ही चाहिए. एंड
I
इफ यू
agree.
इनकलकेट दैट एज अ हैबिट, तो नथिंग बेटर देन दैट, राइट?
Yes, ma'am.
बहुत अच्छा.
Absolutely.
मुझे थोड़ा तुम्हारे एनएलयू डी के एक्सपीरियंस के बारे में भी पूछना है कि हाउ वाज इट, मतलब
Uh,
हाउ वर द 5 years, टेल मी द हाइलाइट्स ऑफ इट.
Ma'am, the 5 years were quite enriching, and I was very lucky to be taught by very, very prestigious faculties, and I mean, great mentors and guides there. I was lucky to work at their premier research centers like Project 39A. I was associated with Project 39A as a death penalty research
हाँ
fellow
हाँ हाँ
for 1 year. So, and there were other experiences such as the Copyright X program that NLUD conducts in collaboration with Harvard Law School. So I could do that for 1 semester. Then the internship opportunities, research centers like Center for Communication Governance or Center for Criminology and Victimology, and other exposure that I got there, it is really unmatched. And
Oh,
the kind of research or databases that we were provided with,
हाँ
SCC Online and all of Lexis and
हाँ
Westlaw,
Manufacture and everything.
everything. So, बहुत helpful है मैम. Even for our preparation, it
हाँ
is very helpful.
absolutely. So while so we were about to conduct a class on most important landmark judgments on IPC, and उसमें एक टॉपिक था डेथ पेनल्टी का, एंड देन आई केम अक्रॉस दिस प्रोजेक्ट 39 एंड उसी से इंस्पायर, मतलब वो इतना, it is such a good project and I'm so happy and I'm so impressed that you were on it. This is actually a very good this is actually a very proud moment for a टीचर राइट कि मुझे मुझे तुमसे
Yes,
पढ़ने को मिला.
ma'am.
This is
I'm
actually
happy
nice.
to see, ma'am, that the work done by research centers is actually used, so useful.
Absolutely,
It's very good to
absolutely.
see.
It is useful and me and my other faculty मानसी हम लोग वही पेज खोल के बैठे थे and we were looking at those cases कि इसमें सारे landmark cases covered है. This is so beautifully written and everything and we were so impressed by that and मतलब वही the world is so small. तुमसे बात करने को ही मिल गया मुझे यहाँ पे. So that's very nice. ठीक है. मुझे ये
Yes,
बताओ
ma'am.
कि अब आगे के क्या प्लान, पीएसयू में तो तुमने अप्लाई कर दिया है, होपफुली होगा.
Yes, ma'am. Let's see. I mean, I'm not getting too ahead of myself right now. I will see if more, as in when more PSC opportunities turn up, I will keep applying. And
एब्सोल्युटली.
so I will take it one day at a time from here.
एंड पता है, मुझे पता है कि यू विल गेट इनटू अ गुड, मतलब यू विल गेट इनटू अ पीएसयू ऑफ योर चॉइस, ठीक है, या फिर अ करियर ऑफ योर चॉइस. इफ इट इज सिविल सर्विसेज यू एस्पायर टू गो, तो वो तुम्हें मिलेगा. दिस आई नो इट इन माई हार्ट. एंड मुझे पता है कि वंस यू क्रैक दैट ना, आई विल अगेन ask you to come and do an interview with us. This is such an inspiring thing. I'm very impressed by you and all the hard work that you have put in and the smart work. Very impressed,
Hmm.
Tanishka. Very impressed.
Thank you, ma'am. Ma'am, I would like to share something more on the questions attempting bit,
Absolutely. Please
because
do.
I think that when I used to watch these videos, I used to look for those tricks and tips a lot.
हाँ हाँ हाँ.
So one of those I wanted to share. So that is reading the options very carefully. Uh, Elimination is easy when you read the options carefully. So, for the aspirants watching, I want to share this strategy. So, when we look at, so there was a question on complementarity principle asked this year from international criminal law.
हाँ
So, if you read the options therein, you will understand even if you don't know what complementarity is. Basic common sense, if we apply, we will be able to eliminate. Then there was another question on doctrine of corporate weal, but they did not ask which case on doctrine of corporate weal. They said which of the following cases dealt with the intervention, with the rights of shareholders, the RBI's intervention, and one or more things. And the answer to that was LIC versus Escorts, and that is the landmark corporate
हाँ.
weal case. So, like that, we have to read into the options. So these kinds of tricks and tips. Then one more question this year was on live-in relationship का कौन सा case है? and the answer was some Sneha Ahuja. I had no idea, but I eliminated. ये सब तुक्का मारने की टेक्निक है, बस कुछ नहीं। और उसमें एक पार्टी, दो केसेस में बोथ पार्टीज वर मेल। अब लिव इन
हाँ,
रिलेशनशिप है तो दोनों पार्टीज मेल
मेल नहीं
कैसे
हो
होंगी?
सकती।
हटा दो। एक केस था रूपा वर्सेस अशोक हुर्रा, दैट इज
हाँ,
ऑन क्यूरेटिव
क्यूरेटिव
पिटिशन,
पिटिशन।
लैंडमार्क केस। हटा दो, बचा केस मार्क कर दो। तो ये सब रिस्क टेकिंग, बट अगेन ये सब मॉक्स में प्रैक्टिस कर करके बार बार देख के, इफ इट्स वर्किंग फॉर यू,
हाँ।
it worked for me, might not work for you, but this is one of the ways to crack the exam.
नहीं, बट इफ यू आर विलिंग टू पुट इन सो मच हार्ड वर्क एंड क्योंकि एक पेपर एक बार ही करते हो ना तो यू गेट टायर्ड ऑफ इट, बट डूइंग वन पेपर 3 टाइम्स, 4 टाइम्स, 5 टाइम्स, दैट टेक रेजिलियंस। मतलब उसमें बहुत, मतलब यू हैव टू सिट थ्रू इट एंड यू हैव टू कीप लुकिंग एट इट वेरी क्लोजली। तो मतलब वो वाला डिसिप्लिन अगर है आप में तो आई थिंक दीज टिप्स विल एब्सोल्युटली हेल्प यू, एब्सोल्युटली हेल्प यू।
Hmm.
दिस इज वेरी नाइस
I
एंड
hope so
मुझे
too.
बहुत अच्छा लगा तुमसे बात करके तनिष्का। आई आई फेल्ट, आई मुझे बहुत ऐसा लगा कि दीज कुछ चीजें तो तुमने ऐसी बताई जो मुझे नहीं पता थी। दिस वाज सो इंफॉर्मेटिव। सो हैप्पी
I'm
टू
so
स्पीक टू
glad,
यू।
ma'am, because I am a beneficiary of this channel, so I'm happy to share my views also.
थैंक यू सो मच एंड आई विश यू ऑल द लक। तुम्हें पीएसयू तुम्हारी पसंद का मिले, तुम्हें सिविल सर्विस में तुम्हारी पसंद का डेजिग्नेशन मिले। एवरीथिंग यू वांट इन लाइफ शुड कम ट्रू एंड विशिंग यू ऑल द बेस्ट इन लाइफ एंड प्लीज विश योर पेरेंट्स ऑन माय बिहाफ दैट वी आर वेरी वेरी प्राउड ऑफ यू। ठीक है?
Surely, ma'am.
Please congratulate them on our behalf and thank you for speaking to us and this is it। अगर इस तरह के टॉपर्स आ रहे हैं तो फिर why are you not subscribing guys? You have to subscribe today, right? तो सब्सक्राइब करो, अपने फ्रेंड्स के साथ शेयर करो, जो खुद से भी प्रिपेयर कर रहे हैं उनके साथ भी शेयर करो। दीज टिप्स आर गोल्ड। ठीक। बाय बाय, टेक केयर।
Thank you for having me here, ma'am, and very kind of you. Thank
यू
you
आर
so
मोस्ट वेलकम।
much.